What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns climbing back to the top of Mount Soapbox for yet another rant. And if you have a rant suggestion for a future episode, be it about Grand Theft Auto, Mafia, Red Dead, gaming in general, or YouTube, as long as I haven't done it already, so be sure and check out the new as well as the older rant playlists, just in case I may have ranted about that particular subject already. But if it is a rant subject that I've yet to do, feel free and send it my way via the comments section, Twitter, or Facebook. By the way, all my social stuff linked below in the description section. And I think a lot of you probably saw this rant coming. Yes. So we got a new airplane, Tuesday, in Grand Theft Auto Online. A big, giant Russian bomber, the Bombushka. And the first thing we're going to rant about is a certain content creator, for some rhyme or reason, we don't know why. Maybe we'll never know. Maybe it was because he was out of town for a few days and he was still recovering from his trip. Maybe he didn't get enough sleep that night because he did have to get up early in the morning to record that video, even though he thought he was pronouncing it correctly. For some reason, he was not. We'll never know why. Jane, we just won't. Session box. But what we do know is that this content creator was me. So I just want to say that right now. I apologize once again for mispronouncing the Bombushka. I knew it wasn't Bombushka when I was doing the video. It was there, but for some reason, that bit of knowledge, that brain cell that had that important data in it, must have died somewhere in the night when I got maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep. Anyways, so with that out of the way, let us continue with the ranting of the Bombushka bomber. And what we're going to do is it's going to be audience participation from you, my awesome viewers, subscribers, and fans, because some of you had a few words to say regarding the Bombushka Tuesday. So let's see what everyone had to say. First off, let's go to Cham. I think what Rockstar should have done is add an autopilot option, so even if it's just you in the plane, you can use its weapons by turning it to autopilot, then allowing you to switch between the seats. Cham, that is a fantastic idea. It's actually one that I had a few years ago, and absolutely, I would love for all the aircraft in Grand Theft Auto Online, not just the Bombushka, but everything else, to have autopilot. I mean, does it seem so difficult of a task for Rockstar to accomplish? I think whenever you're in the bomber bay, it goes into autopilot mode. So there should just be an ability for all the aircraft, the planes, jets, helicopters, for you to, like, especially if you're like going from like one side of the map to the other, and you just want to put the controller down for a moment, maybe go AFK, go get a drink, go take a leak, whatever. You could just set the plane, the helicopter, the jet to autopilot. It just makes too much sense, but alas, I don't think we'll ever see that happen. Next, let's go to Akeem. Thanks for buying this new plane and showing it off. Hey, it's my pleasure, Akeem. That's what I'm here for, to spend my money and show off all the drip-fed content and determine whether or not it's worth purchasing by you guys, my awesome viewers, subscribers, and fans. Continuing, I like the adversary mode. I kind of liked it as well. I had some good moments and some bad moments, but overall, it was better than a few. It's not the best adversary mode, but it's definitely not the worst, in my opinion. But it was interesting, to say the least. But it's not worth me getting the plane, and I agree. I think that most Grand Theft Auto Online fans should save their money and not purchase the Bombushka. You know, buyer beware on this plane. Next, we go to Jane, who absolutely loves me. It's Grand Theft Auto Online in 2017, GB. Of course, this expensive plane was going to explode with just one sticky bomb. Yeah, that's how I tested the Bombushka Tuesday morning. I didn't have any rockets. I didn't feel like going to get one of my attack craft, so I had sticky bombs. And I assumed at the time that the Bombushka, being this big, giant, badass Russian bomber, would be able to take a licking. You know, a few sticky bombs, the damn thing only took one. It was embarrassing. But like she says, these new vehicles are more fragile than glass. Sadly, Jane, I have to agree with you on that one. Next, let's talk to the one and only Nathan Drake. That's right. He's the real Nathan Drake. This plane is pure shit, unresponsive, slow, and need gunners. And if Nathan Drake is not willing to use the Bombushka during his adventures in Uncharted, then you know it's a bad plane, because he's always having to climb around everywhere. And I think he'd rather fly than climb, except for when it comes to the Bombushka. Finally, we go to Nick Ballard. Yeah, they put all that detail in the back seats. By the way, the interior does look really good. I just wish I could have showed you guys the interior. For some reason, it wouldn't let me, even if I had the Bombushka parked on the ground, unless I had a friggin' pilot. Even though you can move back and forth in the Tula, right? So you can be the pilot in the Tula, but as long as it's in the water or on the ground, you can move back to the rear guns. So absolutely makes no freaking sense why you can't do the same in the Bombushka, as long as it's on the fucking ground. There I go, getting monetized once again by YouTube. Let's see, and still you can't open the fucking back door! Okay, so I had to do that because it was going to get demonetized anyways by YouTube. I already opened the door. Well, the box, if you will. The door on the Bombushka cannot be opened, which is a big issue that Nick and a few others have as well. I'm not buying this piece of shit. Believe me, or not, it gets blown up by 3 explosive sniper rounds, and Nick is absolutely right. I wish I had the research done in my bunker to get the explosive rounds for my heavy sniper, but that's not going to happen for me till probably when the final season of Game of Thrones comes out in 2019. By then, I'll probably have that update. But anyways, yeah, like I just mentioned, you know, this big, giant Russian bomber, which you look at, it's slow as hell, right? It's extremely slow in the skies. So you would expect Rockstar to not only have some offensive capabilities, like the ability to have up to 3 gunners, makes sense for a big giant gunship, but for it to also be able to take a licking, a beating. You know, it is Russian after all. Russians are quite tough. Entre comrades, we are very, very tough. By the way, Jane, take a drink. Yeah, a little drinking game she and I have started. I have to drink water, though. I can't drink alcohol anymore. But you can have some vodka if you wish, Jane. But the point is, it's a slow, big, giant plane, a big, easy target that can be easily destroyed with 3 explosive sniper rounds, or, you know, a rocket, or explosive ammo from a Hydra, or a rogue, or freaking sticky bomb, or a grenade if it's on the fucking ground. This plane needs to seriously be buffed. And until some improvements are made, hopefully by Rockstar, including buffing her a little bit so she can take a bit more damage, the Bombushka is not worth the $6 million or $4 million price tag. Yes, you heard me correctly. It's not worth either price tag. The one for, you know, the unlocked version, if you haven't done enough sourcing for the hangar at $6 million, or the discount at $4.4 million, because the damn thing just gets destroyed too easily. And what's crazy about the Bombushka is you like run it into the ground if you're like flying it around like I was doing the other day, and you hit the ground or you hit a mountain or you hit a house, it doesn't blow up. I mean, it's obviously built rather well, but at the same time, whenever it gets hit by some, you know, explosive ammo, 3 rounds from a sniper or a sticky bomb or a fucking rocket, you know, that's when it just blows up and shatters like glass. It really seems to be an oxymoron, if you will. For one thing, you think if it was so tough where it could, you know, land and not blow up to pieces, whereas other planes, if they did the same thing, would be dust. Like if you did the same exact thing with any of the jets or any of the planes in the game, yeah, a plane, if it hit a mountain, it would be over. You'd be wasted. You'd be gone, respawning. Goodbye, plane. Not with the Bombushka, but for some reason, despite the fact that it obviously is tough, it's just not tough in the right way, whereas other vehicles in the game, like the Insurgent, like the Night Shark, even the big giant MOC, which people were comparing the Bombushka to, it was going to be the MOC of the skies. It just easily gets destroyed, and I have to wonder if Rockstar unintentionally put the plane out there like this, because you look at some of the other issues with some of the other drip-fed vehicles, like, for example, the Rapid GT Classic. That's something we noticed during the live stream, is that the back wheels, if the suspension is too low, they start glitching upward. And that should not be happening especially with how much money we're shelling out in the new content. By the way, even discounted at $4.4 million, $4 million is equivalent to $50 in real American money. How do I know this, you may ask? It's quite simple. The Megalodon Shark card is $8 million, and $8 million, it's $100 in real life. So for $100, you can buy a Megalodon Shark card, and that means that if $8 million equals $100 US, then $50, which is half of 100, would be $4 million in Grand Theft Auto Online. So for just over $50, you're getting this big giant plane that's easily destroyed. It does not make sense. And for all you bombers out there, it's a waste of money to buy, especially when you have other faster bombers in the game, like the Cuban, which, by the way, you get for free with your purchase of a hangar. I mean, yes, it could be destroyed too, but it also can drop the same ordnance that the Bombushka can drop. And it's faster. It's smaller. It doesn't make sense to purchase the Bombushka when you already have the freaking Cuban. Or, you know, other planes that came day one with Smuggler's Run, the Rogue, Starling, Tula, all of them are bombers that I'd rather have if I was a bomber. By the way, I'm not the world's best bomber, and it's just not my cup of tea, but maybe some of you are into bombing missions, or just bombing players, or bombing NPCs. I would just stay away from the Bombushka if you want a really good bomber craft. Stick with the Cuban, the Rogue, Starling, or Tula, or wait for some of the other drip-fed vehicles to come out that are also capable of being bombers, like the Mogul Light Bomber, which also has a gun on top. The Sea Breeze, it's a bomber. It's also an aquatic craft, so you can land and take off. Plus, it's kind of fast. And, of course, the legendary Hunter Attack Helicopter. That thing's going to have rockets on it. It's going to have the ability to have a gunner on it, and you can also bomb with it. So all these vehicles are a much better investment if you're looking for a bomber craft than the Bombushka. And like I said, until Rockstar makes a few improvements, like increasing the buff, the Bombushka should be avoided at all costs and sent off to the nearest convenient gulag.